Approximately 1 year ago, I bought an electric motor for my bicycle, and a couple of people have expressed interest in how it's going. So last week, I rolled over 1,000 miles, and so I thought this would be a good time to make a little video describing some of the particulars. This is a shot of me coasting downhill. Coasting downhill is not the problem for me. It's going up hills. We live on a moderate hill, and so this is a picture of me coming up the hill and getting up to, I was at 22 miles an hour, but still picking up speed when I went out of the frame. The company where I bought the motor and the battery, Xtracycle.com. They're in Texas. They sell complete bicycles as well as these kits, and I bought the kit, the Phoenix 2 kit. I got the Brute model. It comes in two different models: the Brute, which is a higher torque, lower speed, and the Cruiser, which is lower torque, higher speed. But the Brute, it goes 28 miles an hour. That's a top speed, which is faster than would be safe for me to go on my bicycle. And the higher torque is better suited for what I use it for, which is mostly hauling groceries and cat food and cat litter and things like that. It's 48 volts, and the controller, the brain, can push 40 amps, so it's 2 kilowatts approximately. Right now, October 11th, 2012, the motor cost $750 with the throttle and all the other, the wiring and all that stuff, and the battery costs $1,100. So the battery I got, which is the Sony lithium manganese 15 amp hour battery. When I bought it, it cost more. The price has dropped 22% in the last year. Okay, if you're wondering why the quality of the video in this movie is so terrible, the reason is I'm using a camera about the size of my thumb. So there you have it. So I'm easily distracted, and I'm over here by my battery, and I saw these cat toys, and then I saw a cat, and I thought, well, we may as well have a little cat play interlude. The battery's in the bag. It's a 15 amp hour at 48 volts lithium manganese battery made by Sony. It weighs 12 pounds. Kind of awkward to get it out of the bag. I think this is the only time I've ever taken it out of the bag, so that doesn't really matter. So that's the battery. Okay, this is a tour of the bicycle. This is the throttle. It's like a standard motorcycle throttle. I had to grind down the handlebar a little bit to slide it over. It comes with an extension, but I was so excited to use it that I didn't put it on, and I'm too lazy to do it now. You gotta have your light, you gotta have your bell. This is the display that shows how much current you're drawing and how fast you're going, things like that. This is the motor, but it comes with the wheel, and it has this torque bar here to help keep everything from breaking. This motor is really powerful, more powerful than the smaller ones you can get. You have to actually use a steel fork. If you use an aluminum fork, you can fold up the fork, which would be very, very unfortunate. Let's see. So this is the controller, the Crystal Light speed controller, the 48 volt, 40 amp model. I rarely use more than 12 amps. it's sort of oversized, which helps it run cooler. So this overheating can be a problem. But I've never had that problem because I'm a slowpoke. So this is the Xtracycle contraption. So you can sit on the back, and there's room for someone to sit on the back and hold on for dear life. The other cool thing about the Xtracycle is the kickstand. It's got a two feet, so you can load more than 100 pounds onto it without worrying about it tipping over. So I had a problem with breaking spokes, so I recently went to a mountain bike store and got this beefy mountain bike wheel and tire put on, along with a disc brake. So when it's fully loaded and you're going fast, the little rubber caliper brakes struggle to stop you. Oh, here comes the sun. I bought my Xtracycle kit a couple years ago, and it looks like they've kind of changed the look and feel of the website and stuff, but they're still at Xtracycle.com, and what I've got, I guess, roughly approximates what they're calling the free radical trucker now. And I was surprised how much it costs. It's $710, I think. I don't think I paid quite that much, but I suppose it was probably close to that. But for me, it's been worth it. Check. A couple other thoughts. I read quite a bit about whether or not to get a front hub or a rear hub, and for some reason it seemed like a rear hub would make more sense. I don't know why, just intuitively it did. But it's kind of hard to fit it back there with the Xtracycle, so I went with the front hub motor, and I've been really pleased. There's no handling problems at all. It really pretty much just rides like a regular bicycle, or maybe even better, because you're kind of pulling through trouble if you get into it. The other thought about batteries, I got a little bit bigger battery than I think I needed, because I thought that might make it last longer. 15 amp hours at 48 volts, and there's only been, I think, 2 occasions in the last year when I got home from my errand, the light meter was off full. So I think the battery will last a really long time. Certainly in the last year I haven't noticed yet any diminution in the capacity. I've run it all the way through. One time I went up to Rio Rancho to play some tennis last August, and that round trip was almost 40 miles. So when I got up there after 20 miles, it was, I think, about half capacity, and I was a little bit worried I'd run out on the way home. So I plugged in up at the golf club up there for maybe an hour or so, and made it home with no problems. You really have quite a bit of flexibility in your range, depending on how fast you go and how hard you pedal. If you pedal just a little bit harder and go a little bit slower, you can extend your range